She learned 3 things in the span of one morning that would shatter her world completely. First, she was pregnant. Second, the father was Kang Min-jun, Seoul's most notorious and dangerous mafia boss, the man she'd sworn she would never see again. And third, he'd known about the baby before she did, and he was already at her door claiming what he believed was his. If the most dangerous man in Seoul told you that you carried his child and demanded you become his, would you fight or would you surrender to save your life? Let me know in the comments. Welcome to Black and Soul TV. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sarah stood frozen in her cramped hotel room, staring at the positive pregnancy test she'd taken 20 minutes ago. Her heart slammed against her ribs. No, 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 no. This couldn't be happening. Not with him. Not with that monster. 6 weeks. It had been 6 weeks since the worst night of her life. 6 weeks since she'd caught Marcus in bed with her best friend. 6 weeks since she'd gotten so drunk at that bar in Itaewon that she could barely stand. 6 weeks since she'd made the most catastrophic mistake of her existence. She'd known who he was the moment he'd approached her at the bar. Everyone in Seoul knew Kang Min-jun, the youngest mafia boss in the city's history. Ruthless, violent, untouchable. The news ran stories about him constantly. Bodies found in the Han River. Businesses burned to the ground. Rivals who disappeared without a trace. And in her drunken, broken state, when he'd offered her escape for one night, she'd said yes. She hated herself for it. Hated him more. A knock at the door made her jump. Her blood turned to ice. Because she knew. Somehow she knew. Open the door, Sarah. His voice was smooth. Dangerous. Familiar. Go away. I'm not leaving. And neither are you. She didn't move. The lock clicked. A key card. The door swung open. Kang Min-jun stepped inside. Tall. Expensive black suit. Dark eyes that had haunted her nightmares for 6 weeks. And the moment she saw him, rage flooded her system. Get out. Her voice shook with fury. He locked the door behind him. Hello to you too. I said get out. She backed away, hand clutching the pregnancy test like a weapon. How did you even get in here? The hotel manager was cooperative. He stepped closer. That cologne. Bergamot and cedar. It made her stomach turn. You bribed him. I compensated him. His eyes dropped to the test in her hand. And I see you finally discovered what I've known for 2 weeks. Her breath caught. What? You're pregnant, Sarah. With my child. His voice was maddeningly calm. And before you ask how I know, I've had people watching you since that night. When you started showing symptoms, I had your blood tested. Horror crashed over her. You did what? Had someone collect a sample from your morning coffee cup. Sent it to a private lab. His jaw tightened. The results came back positive 11 days ago. You're insane. Tears burned her eyes. You're absolutely insane. Perhaps. He moved closer. She pressed against the wall. But that doesn't change the fact that you're carrying my heir. Don't call it that. Her voice broke. Don't you dare. What would you prefer I call it? Our baby? My child? The life we created together? We didn't create anything. She spat the words. You took advantage of me when I was drunk and broken and you begged me to make you forget. His voice went cold. You kissed me first. You pulled me into that hotel room. You. Stop. She pressed her hands over her ears. Just stop. I'm not here to argue about that night. He pulled a folder from his jacket, dropped it on her bed. Photographs spilled out. Her walking to work, getting coffee, talking to coworkers. And in every photo, a red circle around someone in the background. Different faces. Same threatening presence. What is this? Proof that you're being watched. By my enemies. They've been tracking you for 3 weeks. Trying to figure out why Kang Min-jun is suddenly interested in some American chef. His voice went quiet. Deadly. And the moment they confirm you're pregnant, they'll kill you and cut my child from your body. She couldn't breathe. You're lying. Trying to scare me. I wish I was. He stepped closer. She could see the tension in his jaw, the slight tremor in his hands. I have enemies, Sarah. Powerful ones. And an heir makes me vulnerable. Which makes you a target. Then let me go? Her voice rose. Hysterical now. Let me go home to Atlanta. Let me disappear. You'll never have to see me or this baby again. No. The finality in that word chilled her. You don't get a say in this. Yes. His hand shot out, gripping her wrist. Not hard, but firm. Inescapable. I do. You're carrying my bloodline. That makes you mine. I belong to no one. She jerked against his grip. Especially not a murderer. Something flickered in his eyes. Pain. Anger. Then it was gone. You think I'm a monster. I know you are. She met his gaze, unflinching despite her fear. I've read the news. I know what you do. The people you've killed. The lives you've destroyed. You're everything I hate about this world. And yet you let me touch you. I was drunk and stupid and heartbroken. She blinked back tears. And I've regretted it every single day since. His jaw clenched. Regret it all you want. But you're coming with me. Tonight. No. You have two choices, Sarah. He released her wrist. Step back. Come with me willingly and live in comfort and safety. Or refuse and watch my men carry you out of here while you scream. Either way, you're leaving this hotel. Her hands shook. You can't do this. This is kidnapping. This is protection. His voice softened barely. Whether you believe it or not, I'd rather die than belong to you. Then you'd be condemning our child too. He moved to the window, looked out at the Seoul skyline. Is that really what you want? To let your pride kill an innocent life? The words hit like a slap. You bastard. Yes. He didn't deny it. But I'm a bastard who will keep you alive. He turned back to her. I've already arranged everything. Your employer has been compensated. Your visa extended. Your mother in Atlanta will receive a deposit tomorrow. Enough to cover your sister's college tuition and your mother's medical bills. Her chest tightened. You research my family? I research everything. His gaze held hers. I know you send money home every month. I know your mother has diabetes and can't afford her medication. I know your sister Jasmine got accepted to law school, but can't pay tuition. She hesitated. This was it. Her last chance to run. To scream for help. 2. Gunshots exploded behind them. Sarah screamed. Min Jun shoved her into the car, covered her body with his as bullets sparked off the concrete. His men returned fire, shouting in Korean. More gunshots. Drive. Min Jun barked at the driver. The car lurched forward, tires squealing. Sarah couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Min Jun's weight pressed her into the leather seats. His heart thundered against her back. Stay down. His voice was rough in her ear. More gunshots. The back window shattered. Glass rained down. Sarah buried her face in her hands, sobbing now. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. The car accelerated, swerving. The sounds of gunfire faded. Slowly, Min Jun lifted his weight off her. Are you hurt? His hands were on her face, checking for injuries. Did they hit you? She couldn't answer, couldn't stop shaking. Sarah. His voice cracked. Look at me. She did, and saw blood on his shoulder. Dark, spreading. You're shot. She breathed. It's nothing. He dismissed it. Are you hurt? No, I don't think. He pulled her into his arms, held her so tight she could barely breathe. I've got you. He whispered into her hair. You're safe. I've got you. And despite everything, despite hating him, despite knowing what he was, Sarah clung to him. Because those men had tried to kill her. Had tried to kill her baby. And Min Jun had taken a bullet protecting her. The car raced through Seoul's streets, taking turns too fast, running red lights. Finally, it pulled into an underground garage. Security gates slammed shut behind them. Min Jun released her, stepped out, spoke rapid Korean to his men. Then he opened her door, extended his hand. Come. She looked at his hand, then at his face. Blood stained his shirt now, but his expression was calm, controlled. Where are we? Home. My penthouse. You'll be safe here. She didn't take his hand. I hate you, she whispered. I know. He didn't flinch. But you're alive. And that's all that matters. They tried to kill me. Yes. Because of you. Yes. Tears streamed down her face. This is your fault. All of it. I know. His voice was quiet. And I'm sorry. But I'm not letting you go. He met her eyes. You can hate me, Sarah. You can curse me. You can make my life hell. But you will stay with me. You will let me protect you. And you will have our baby safely. And if I refuse, then you condemn us both. Because I won't survive losing you. The raw honesty in his voice stole her breath. You don't even know me. I know enough. He extended his hand again. Please. Against every instinct. Against all logic. Sarah took his hand and let the monster lead her into his lair. The penthouse wasn't what Sarah expected. She'd imagined something cold, sterile, a villain's lair. Instead, warm light spilled across dark wood floors. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the glittering Seoul skyline. Namsan Tower pierced the night like a guardian. Traditional Korean art hung beside modern pieces. And in the corner, something that made her breath catch. A small bookshelf filled with books by Black authors. Baldwin, Morrison, Hurston, Adichie. He'd been planning this. Your room is down the hall. Min Jun shrugged off his bloody jacket, wincing as the movement pulled his shoulder. Mine is across from yours. You need a doctor. She heard herself say. I have one coming. He moved to the bar cart, poured whiskey with his good hand. You should rest. I should run. You won't. He took a long drink. Because you're smart enough to know those men won't stop. They'll hunt you across the world if they have to. Because of you. Yes. He turned to face her. Because of me. Because I'm Kong Min-jun, and everything I touch turns to blood and ash. His jaw clenched. But I'm also the only person who can keep you breathing. She wrapped her arms around herself. Why the books? She gestured to the shelf. Why pretend you care? I'm not pretending. He set down his glass. I had them brought here when I learned you were pregnant. I thought. He stopped. Looked away. I thought you might need something familiar. Don't do that. Do what? Act like you're human. Like you have feelings. She stepped toward him. Fury replacing fear. You're a killer. A criminal. A monster who kidnapped me and saved your life. His voice went cold. Don't forget that part. I didn't ask you to. No. You just asked me to make you forget that night. He moved closer. Asked me to touch you. Too. Stop. Her hand flew up, connecting with his face. The slap echoed through the penthouse. Silence. Min-jun's head had turned with the impact. Slowly he looked back at her, a red mark blooming on his cheek. But his eyes were sad. Feel better? No. Tears streamed down her face. I feel trapped. I feel terrified. I feel like my life is over. It's not over. His hand came up, almost touching her face, then dropped. It's just different now. Different? She laughed bitterly. I'm pregnant by a man I despise. Being hunted by his enemies. Locked in his penthouse like some prisoner. You're not a prisoner. Then let me leave. Silence. I can't. His voice cracked. I can't lose you. You don't even know me. I know you bite your lip when you're nervous. He stepped closer. I know you hum when you cook. I know you call your mother every Sunday at 9. I know you cry yourself to sleep, sometimes thinking about your father. His voice dropped. I know because I've watched you for 6 weeks. Learned everything about you. Became obsessed with you. That's not love. She whispered. That's possession. I never said it was love. His forehead nearly touched hers. I said it was obsession, and I don't know how to stop. You should. I know. But his hand finally cupped her face. I won't. She should pull away. Should slap him again. Should scream. But she was so tired. So scared. And his touch was gentle. Almost reverent. I hate you. She breathed. I know. His thumb brushed her cheek, wiping away tears. You ruined my life. I know. I'll never forgive you. I know. He leaned closer. But I'll spend the rest of my life trying to earn it anyway. The doorbell chimed, breaking the moment. That's the doctor. Min-jun stepped back. Mrs. Choi will show you to your room. Get some rest. A woman appeared. 50s. Kind eyes. Traditional hanbok. This is Mrs. Choi. She doesn't speak English well, but she'll take care of you. Annyeonghaseyo. Sarah said quietly. Mrs. Choi's face lit up. She bowed, responded in rapid Korean, then gently took Sarah's arm. Sarah let herself be led down the hallway, away from Min-jun, away from his sad eyes and gentle touches and the confusion swirling in her chest. Because she did hate him. She hated everything about him. So why did her skin still burn where he'd touched her? Her room was beautiful. Soft blues and creams. A massive bed with silk sheets. A window overlooking the city. And on the nightstand, a framed photo. Sarah picked it up. Her breath caught. It was her. And her grandmother. From 5 years ago. Before the cancer. They were laughing. Arms around each other. How did he? She sank onto the bed, clutching the photo. Tears coming harder now. He'd stolen this from somewhere. Her apartment maybe. Or her mother's house. He'd invaded her entire life. Researched everything. Planned everything. And now she was trapped. A soft knock at the door. Yes? Mrs. Choi entered, carrying a tray. Tea. Rice. Soup. For you. She said carefully in English. You eat. Baby need. Sarah's hand moved to her stomach. The baby. She'd almost forgotten. Almost died tonight because of this tiny life inside her. Thank you. She whispered. Mrs. Choi set down the tray, then did something unexpected. She pulled Sarah into a hug. Maternal. Warm. And whispered something in Korean that Sarah didn't understand, but felt anyway. It's okay. You're safe now. When she left, Sarah stared at the food. Her stomach growled despite everything. She needed to eat. For the baby. She took a bite of soup. It was good. Really good. Outside her door, she heard voices. Min-jun speaking Korean. The doctor probably. Treating his gunshot wound. The wound he'd gotten protecting her. She hated him. But he'd saved her life. And that truth was going to destroy her. 3 days passed. 3 days of being trapped in the penthouse while Min-jun's men secured the building. Changed protocols. Hunted the people who tried to kill her. Sarah spent most of her time in the kitchen with Mrs. Choi. Cooking. Learning Korean words. trying not to think about the mess her life had become. Min-jun kept his distance. She saw him at breakfast. Brief conversations. Stilted. Tense. Then he'd disappear into his office for hours. Conducting business. Running his empire. She was glad. The less she saw him, the easier it was to remember she hated him. On the fourth morning, she woke to the smell of coffee. Real coffee. Not the decaf Mrs. Choi had been giving her. She found Min-jun in the kitchen. Dressed casually. Jeans. Black t-shirt. His shoulder bandaged, but healing. He was making breakfast. Badly. You're burning the eggs, she said from the doorway. He turned, surprised to see her. I'm trying. Trying to give us food poisoning? A ghost of a smile. Maybe. She moved to the stove, took the spatula from his hand. Move. He stepped aside, watched as she salvaged what she could of the eggs. I wanted to do something nice, he said quietly. Why? Because you haven't eaten properly in days. Mrs. Choi is worried. Mrs. Choi needs to mind her business. She cares about you. She doesn't know me. She knows enough. He leaned against the counter. Knows your kind. That you smile when you think no one's watching. That you cry at night when you think no one can hear. Sarah's hands stilled. Stop watching me. I can't. His voice was raw. I've tried. She plated the eggs. Slid them toward him. Eat your disaster. He smiled. Actually smiled. And it transformed his entire face. Made him look younger. Less dangerous. It made her heart stutter. She hated that most of all. Thank you. He took a bite. It's terrible. I know. But you saved it. Barely. They ate in silence. Awkward, but not entirely uncomfortable. I need to call my mother, Sarah said finally. Of course. He pulled out a phone. Handed it to her. It's secure. No one can trace it. You've thought of everything. I try. She took the phone. Started to leave. Then stopped. Why? She asked without turning. Why go to all this trouble? You could have just let me go. Let me disappear. No. Simple. Absolute. I couldn't. Why not? Because, he stopped. When she looked back, his expression was vulnerable. Broken. Because the moment I saw you, something in me recognized something in you. And I've been ruined ever since. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. She left. Went to her room. Called her mother. Baby. Her mother's voice. Warm. Familiar. I've been so worried. You haven't called in days. I know. I'm sorry. Sarah's voice cracked. Mama, I'm in trouble. What kind of trouble? Sarah told her everything. The pregnancy. Min-jun. The attack. Being trapped. When she finished, silence. Mama? Baby girl. Her mother's voice was careful. This man. Has he hurt you? No. Physically, no. Do you trust him? I don't know. Sarah whispered. I hate him. But he saved my life. Sometimes the people who save us are the ones who break us first. Her mother sighed. But you're alive. And that baby is alive. So maybe God has a plan we can't see yet. I don't want his plan. Then make your own. But survive first. You hear me? Survive. They talked for an hour. About Jasmine's law school acceptance. About her mother's new medication. About everything except the impossible situation Sarah was in. When she hung up, she felt hollower. A knock at her door. Come in. Min-jun entered. Hesitant. Everything okay? As okay as it can be. He nodded. Stayed in the doorway. I have something to tell you. What? The people who attacked you. His jaw clenched. I found them. And they're dead. Her stomach dropped. You killed them. My men did. On my orders. Yes. She should be horrified. Disgusted. Instead she felt nothing. Good. The word surprised her. Min-jun's eyes widened. Good? They tried to kill me. Tried to kill this baby. She met his gaze. So yes. Good. Something fierce flashed in his eyes. You're stronger than you think. I have to be. She stood. Moved to the window. Because I'm trapped in this world now. Your world. And I either adapt, or I break. You won't break. You don't know that. Yes. He moved behind her. Close but not touching. I do. Because you're still fighting. Still resisting. That's strength, not weakness. She caught his reflection in the window. Standing so close. Looking at her like she was something precious. I still hate you. She whispered. I know. His hand came up. Rested on the glass beside her head. But maybe someday you won't. Don't count on it. He smiled. Sad and beautiful. I'm a patient man, Sarah. I can wait. You'll be waiting forever. Then forever it is. He left. And Sarah stood at the window, hand on her stomach, watching the city that had become her prison, wondering if she'd ever escape, or if part of her even wanted to anymore. 2 weeks passed in a strange routine. Sarah spent mornings in the kitchen with Mrs. Choi, learning to make kimchi jjigae and bibimbap, while teaching her southern fried chicken and cornbread. Afternoons were Korean lessons with Ji-min, a patient tutor who never asked questions about why an American chef needed to learn the language so urgently. Evenings were the hardest. Min-jun would return from whatever dark business kept him away all day, and they'd share dinner in tense silence. He never pushed, never demanded, just watched her with those dark eyes that saw too much. Sarah hated how she'd started noticing things about him. The way he always poured her water before his own. How he listened when she talked about her family. The gentleness in his hands when he moved past her in the hallway, careful never to touch without permission. She hated it because it made him human, and she needed him to be a monster. On the 15th day, everything changed. Sarah woke to shouting. Korean. Angry. Coming from the living room. She pulled on a robe and crept to her door. Min-jun stood in the center of the room, facing 3 older men in expensive suits. His men flanked the walls. Tense. Ready for violence. One of the older men was speaking, his voice sharp, accusatory. Min-jun's jaw clenched tighter with each word. Then the man said something that made Min-jun's control snap. He grabbed the man's collar, slammed him against the wall, spoke in a voice so cold it made Sarah's blood freeze. The other men reached for weapons. Min-jun's men did the same. The room balanced on a knife's edge. Enough. Sarah didn't realize she'd spoken until everyone turned to look at her. Min-jun's eyes widened. Let him go. Now. Sarah. His voice was strained. Go back to your room. No. She stepped forward. Let him go before someone gets killed. For a long moment, Min-jun didn't move. Then slowly he released the man. Stepped back. Spoke in Korean. Clipped. Final. The 3 men glared at Sarah. Said something that made Min-jun's hands clench into fists. Then they left. The elevator doors closing on their furious faces. Silence. What was that? Sarah asked. Business. Min-jun's voice was tight. Nothing you need to worry about. They were talking about me, weren't they? He didn't answer. Which was answer enough. Tell me. He moved to the bar cart. Poured whiskey with shaking hands. They want me to get rid of you. Send you away. Terminate the pregnancy. Her hand flew to her stomach. What? They think you're a weakness. A liability. An American woman carrying my heir makes me vulnerable to my enemies. And what did you say? That they can go to hell. He downed the whiskey. That you're staying. The baby is staying. And if anyone has a problem with that, they can take it up with me personally. Despite everything, warmth spread through her chest. You defended me. Of course I did. He turned to look at her. You're mine to defend. I'm not yours. His eyes darkened. Aren't you? The air shifted. Charged. He crossed the room slowly, giving her time to move away. She didn't. You've been here 2 weeks. He stopped inches from her. 2 weeks of pretending you hate me. But I see the way you look at me when you think I'm not watching. I do hate you. His hand came up, cupped her face. Then why is your heart racing? Because I'm afraid of you. Liar. His thumb brushed her lower lip. You stopped being afraid of me days ago. Her breath caught. She should pull away. Should slap him again. Should. He kissed her. Soft. Achingly gentle. Like she was something precious he might break. And God help her, Sarah kissed him back. Her hands fisted in his shirt, pulling him closer. His arms wrapped around her waist, holding her like he'd never let go. The kiss deepened. Desperate. 6 weeks of tension finally breaking. When they pulled apart, both breathing hard, Min-jun pressed his forehead against hers. I'm sorry, he whispered. For everything. For that night. For trapping you here. For being what I am. Don't. She didn't want apologies. Didn't want to think about what this meant. I need you to know. His hand slid to her stomach. To their baby. I would burn this entire city down before I let anyone hurt you. I know. And that terrified her. Because she believed him. Stay with me tonight. He pulled back to look at her. Not like that. Just stay. Let me hold you. She should say no. Should maintain distance. Should. Okay. Relief flooded his features. He led her to his room. Larger than hers. Darker. But the bed was soft when she climbed in. And when he pulled her against his chest, his heart thundering beneath her ear, something in Sarah finally broke. I'm so scared. She whispered. I know. His hand stroked her hair. Me too. Of what? Losing you. Before I even really have you. She tilted her head up. Met his eyes in the darkness. I still hate you. I know. He smiled. Sad and beautiful. But maybe a little less than yesterday? Maybe. She admitted. A little less. He kissed her forehead. And they fell asleep like that. 2 broken people clinging to each other in the dark. What neither of them knew was that someone was watching. Taking photos. Reporting back to the woman who wanted Sarah dead. And in 48 hours, everything would fall apart. The next morning, Sarah woke alone. Min Jun's side of the bed still warm. A note on the pillow. Had to leave early. Mrs. Choi will make you breakfast. I'll be back by dinner. Stay inside. Please. She pressed the note to her chest, hating how her heart fluttered, hating how she'd slept better in his arms than she had in weeks. Mrs. Choi was already in the kitchen, preparing mayakuk. Good morning, Sarah said in careful Korean. Mrs. Choi beamed. Good morning. You sleep well? Yes. Too well. Mrs. Choi studied her face, then smiled knowingly, said something in rapid Korean that Sarah didn't understand but blushed at anyway. They spent the morning cooking together. Mrs. Choi teaching her to make mandu, Sarah teaching her to make biscuits. It was peaceful, almost normal, until Sarah's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Hello? Sarah Mitchell. A woman's voice. Cold, cultured, Korean accented English. We need to talk. Who is this? Someone who can give you what you want. Freedom. Sarah's blood ran cold. I'm hanging up. Wait. The woman's voice sharpened. Don't you want to know who I am? Why Kong Min Jun really brought you to his penthouse? What he's planning to do with your baby? Against her better judgment, Sarah stayed on the line. I'm listening. My name is Choi Ji-woo. I was supposed to be Min Jun's wife. Until you came along. Sarah's stomach dropped. She remembered Min Jun mentioning enemies. Rivals. But not this. I didn't come along. She said carefully. I was kidnapped. Is that what he told you? Ji-woo laughed. That he's protecting you? That he cares about you? He took a bullet for me. Because you're carrying his heir. Not because he loves you. Ji-woo's voice turned venomous. Do you know what Min Jun does to women after he gets what he wants from them? Do you know how many have disappeared? You're lying. Am I? Meet me. Today. I'll show you proof. And then you can decide if you still want to stay with a monster. Sarah's hand shook. Where? There's a cafe in Gangnam. Cafe Onyx. 2 o'clock. Come alone. I can't leave. There are guards. Then you're already a prisoner. Ji-woo paused. But if you want the truth, find a way. The line went dead. Sarah stared at the phone. Every instinct screamed trap. But what if Ji-woo was telling the truth? What if Min Jun had been lying about everything? She thought about last night. His gentle hands. His whispered apologies. The way he'd held her like she was precious. But she also thought about the first night. The photographs. The way he'd researched her entire life. Invaded her privacy. Taken control. She needed to know the truth. Mrs. Choi had left the kitchen. Sarah moved quickly. Found a spare key card on the counter. The guards knew her now. Trusted her. If she acted casual, confident, maybe she could slip out. She changed into jeans. A loose sweater. Pulled her hair into a ponytail. Grabbed her purse. I'm going for a walk. She told Mrs. Choi in broken Korean. Just to the convenience store downstairs. Mrs. Choi frowned. Mr. Kong say stay inside. I'll be quick. 5 minutes. Mrs. Choi looked uncertain, but finally nodded. Sarah's heart pounded as she approached the elevator. 2 guards stood outside. Just going to the store, she said in Korean. Need. She mimed eating. Snacks. The guards exchanged glances. Then one nodded. Pressed the elevator button. It was that easy. The elevator descended. Sarah's hands shook. This was stupid. Reckless. Probably exactly what Ji-woo wanted. But she had to know. The lobby was busy. Business people. Tourists. Sarah kept her head down. Walked quickly toward the exit. No one stopped her. Outside, Seoul's afternoon sun hit her face. Freedom. For the first time in 2 weeks, she was outside. Alone. She hailed a taxi. Gave the address in halting Korean. The driver nodded. Pulled into traffic. Sarah watched the city blur past. Her phone buzzed. Min Jun. Where are you? Mrs. Choi said you left. Her finger hovered over the screen. Then she turned the phone off. She'd answer later. After she knew the truth. The cafe was small. Elegant. Hidden down a side street in Gangnam. Sarah entered. Scanned the room. Ji-woo sat in the corner. Even more beautiful in person. Designer clothes. Perfect makeup. Cold eyes that tracked Sarah like prey. Sarah. She gestured to the chair across from her. Thank you for coming. Sarah sat. Tense. Ready to run. I don't have much time. His guards will notice I'm gone. Then I'll be quick. Ji-woo slid a folder across the table. Open it. Sarah hesitated. Then did. Photographs spilled out. Women. Different faces. Different ages. All beautiful. All with Min Jun in various settings. Restaurants. Hotels. His penthouse. And beneath each photo, a date. And a single word stamped in red. Deceased. Sarah's stomach turned. What is this? His pattern. Ji-woo's voice was ice. He finds vulnerable women. Seduces them. Uses them. And when he's done, they disappear. She pointed to one photo. Co June. She was a law student. Vanished 3 years ago. Another. Hannah. A journalist investigating his syndicate. Found dead in the Han River. Another. Mincio. She was pregnant with his child. Died in a car accident that was never investigated. Tears burned Sarah's eyes. No. He wouldn't. He would. He has. Jiwoo leaned forward. You're not special, Sarah. You're just next. Why are you telling me this? Because I loved him once. Before I knew what he was. And I won't let him destroy another woman. She pulled out another paper. This is a plane ticket to Atlanta. Leaving tonight. And a bank account in your name. Enough money to disappear. Raise your baby far from here. Sarah stared at the ticket. Freedom. Safety. Everything she'd wanted since this nightmare began. But Min Jun's voice echoed in her head. I would burn this city down before I let anyone hurt you. How do I know this is real? Sarah asked. That you're not lying? Why would I help you if I wanted you dead? Jiwoo's eyes were sincere. I want Min Jun to suffer. And the best way to do that is to take away what he thinks he owns. Sarah's hands shook as she reached for the ticket. Then her phone rang. Even though she'd turned it off. She pulled it out. The screen was black. But it was ringing. Impossible. Answer it. Jiwoo's smile was razor sharp. Sarah pressed the button. Put it to her ear. Hello? Where are you? Min Jun's voice. Deadly calm. How are you calling me? I turned my phone off. I had a tracker installed. I know exactly where you are. A pause. And I know who you're with. Sarah's blood froze. You're tracking me? I'm protecting you. His voice hardened. Get up. Walk out of that cafe. My men are outside. They'll bring you home. I'm not going anywhere with you. Yes, you are. Because in about 30 seconds, Jiwoo is going to try to kill you. What? She's not helping you, Sarah. She's isolating you. Look around. Notice anything strange? Sarah looked. The cafe was empty. No customers. No staff. Just her and Jiwoo. Where's everyone? She paid them to leave. So there would be no witnesses. Check her purse. Under the table. Sarah looked under the table. Saw Jiwoo's designer bag. And the gun barrel pointed directly at Sarah's stomach. Oh God. Now do you believe me? Min Jun's voice was raw. Run. My men are at the door. But you need to move now. Sarah stood. Chair scraping. Jiwoo's hand moved to her purse. Sit down. Jiwoo's voice was cold. No. I said sit down. The gun came up. Aimed at Sarah's chest. The cafe door burst open. 3 men in dark suits. Min Jun's men. Guns drawn. Drop it. The lead man barked in Korean. Jiwoo smiled. Turned the gun on herself. Pressed it under her own chin. Everyone froze. You think you've won? She looked at Sarah. You think he loves you? You're already dead. You just don't know it yet. Then she pulled the trigger. The sound was deafening. Sarah screamed. Blood sprayed. Jiwoo's body crumpled to the floor. Hands grabbed Sarah. Min Jun's men. Pulling her toward the door. She couldn't stop screaming. Couldn't stop seeing. A car screeched up outside. The back door flew open. And Min Jun was there. His face pale. Eyes wild. Sarah. His hands were on her face. Are you hurt? Did she touch you? Sarah couldn't speak. Couldn't breathe. Just shook. Get her in the car. Min Jun ordered. Now. They lifted her. Placed her in the back seat. Min Jun slid in beside her. Pulled her into his arms. The car sped away. Sirens wailing in the distance. I've got you. He whispered into her hair. I've got you. You're safe. She killed herself. Sarah's voice was hollow. Why would she? To frame me. To make it look like my men killed her. To start a war with her family. His jaw clenched. She was willing to die if it meant destroying me. The photographs. Sarah pulled back. The women. The ones who died. Lies. All of it. His eyes were fierce. Co Jun is alive and married in Busan. Hannah died investigating a rival syndicate, not mine. Mincio was never pregnant. Never even met me. Jiwoo fabricated everything. How do I know you're not lying? Because I'm going to prove it to you. Every single one of those women. I'll find them. Show you they're alive. He cupped her face. I've done terrible things, Sarah. I'm not a good man. But I have never hurt an innocent woman. And I would die before I hurt you. She wanted to believe him. God, she wanted to. You're tracking my phone. Yes. You're controlling my life. Yes. You're a monster. Yes. He didn't deny any of it. But I'm your monster. And I will protect you from every other monster in this world. Despite everything. Despite the blood and the lies and the absolute insanity. Sarah kissed him. Desperate. Furious. Needing to feel alive after staring at death. Min Jun kissed her back. Just as desperate. His hands in her hair. Her hands clutching his shirt. The car speeding through Seoul while they clung to each other like drowning people. When they pulled apart, both breathing hard, Sarah pressed her forehead against his. I hate you, she whispered. I know. He smiled. Sad and broken and beautiful. But you're alive. And that's all that matters. She wanted to argue, wanted to stay angry, but exhaustion crashed over her, the adrenaline fading, leaving her hollow. Take me home, she said. Already there. He pulled her closer. You're already home. And for the first time since this nightmare began, Sarah let herself believe it. The penthouse was in chaos when they arrived. Min Jun's men everywhere, securing entrances, running protocols. Mrs. Choi rushed to Sarah, crying, apologizing in rapid Korean for letting her leave. It's not your fault, Sarah tried to say, but Mrs. Choi just hugged her, maternal and fierce. Min Jun spoke to his men, issuing orders, his voice calm but his hands shaking. When he finished, he came to Sarah. You need to rest. I need answers. She met his eyes. About Jiwoo. About why she hated you. About what's going to happen now. Now. His jaw clenched. Now her family will demand blood. They'll claim I murdered her. And we'll be at war. Because of me. No. Because of her. Because she was obsessed with something she couldn't have and willing to die to take it from me. What did she want? You want the truth? Always. He led her to the couch. Poured her water. Sat beside her. 5 years ago, Jiwoo's father proposed an alliance. A marriage between Jiwoo and me to unite our syndicates. I refused. Not because she wasn't beautiful or intelligent, but because I don't believe in arranged marriages, in using people as chess pieces. And she didn't take it well. She became obsessed, convinced herself we were meant to be together, started eliminating anyone she saw as competition. His voice went dark. 3 years ago, I was seeing someone casually, a teacher named Yuna. Jiwoo had her followed, threatened. Yuna broke it off out of fear, moved to Japan. Sarah's chest tightened. After that, I stopped seeing anyone, stopped letting anyone close, because Jiwoo's obsession had turned violent, and I wouldn't put another innocent person in danger. Until you. He looked at her, and God help me, I couldn't stay away, even knowing what it would mean, what she would do. So you brought me here to protect me from her. I brought you here because I'm selfish, because I wanted you close even if it meant painting a target on your back. His hands clenched. I should have let you go, should have sent you back to Atlanta, but I couldn't. I can't. Because of the baby. No. His eyes were raw, vulnerable. Because of you. The air shifted. Charged. Don't. Sarah whispered. Don't say things you don't mean. I mean every word. He moved closer. I have never meant anything more in my life. You don't know me. I know you hum when you cook. I know you cry at sad movies. I know you send half your paycheck home to your mother. I know you're terrified, but you're still fighting. Still surviving. His hand cupped her face. I know you're the bravest person I've ever met. I'm not brave. I'm trapped. You could have run today. Taken Jiwoo's offer. Disappeared. But you came back. I didn't have a choice. You always have a choice. He leaned closer. And you chose me. Her breath caught. I chose survival. His thumb brushed her lower lip. Did you? She should pull away. Should maintain distance. Should remember all the reasons she hated him. Instead she kissed him. Harder this time. More demanding. 6 weeks of fear and anger and impossible attraction finally breaking free. His hands slid into her hair. Her hands pulled at his shirt. Desperate. Frantic. Sarah. He pulled back. Breathing hard. We should stop. Why? Because you're in shock. Because you almost died today. Because I don't want you to regret this tomorrow. I already regret everything. She pulled him back. So what's one more mistake? You're not a mistake. His forehead pressed against hers. You're the only thing I've ever done right. Then prove it. She breathed. Make me forget. Make me feel alive. He searched her eyes, looking for certainty, for consent, for truth. Whatever he saw there made his control shatter. He kissed her again, lifting her, carrying her to his room, laying her on his bed like she was something precious. And when his hands traced her skin, gentle and reverent, Sarah finally let herself stop thinking, stop analyzing, stop fighting, and just feel. Later, Sarah lay in Min Jun's arms, her head on his chest, his hand protective over her stomach. The city glittered outside the window, peaceful, oblivious to the war brewing. What happens now? She whispered. Now I handle Jiwoo's family. Prove she acted alone. That her death was suicide. His hand stroked her hair. And I keep you safe. How? By any means necessary. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. He tilted her chin up, met her eyes. I won't let them hurt you, Sarah. Even if it means burning this entire city down. She should be terrified. Should run. Should. I believe you. she admitted. And I hate that I believe you. He smiled. Sad and beautiful. You can hate me tomorrow. Tonight, just let me hold you. She nodded, curling closer. And despite everything, despite the danger and the lies and the impossible situation, Sarah felt safe. For the first time in weeks, she felt safe. What neither of them knew was that Jiwoo's death had already set things in motion. Her family was gathering, making calls, building alliances, and in 72 hours, they would come for Sarah to finish what Jiwoo started. The war had begun. The next morning came too soon. Sarah woke alone again. But this time, Min Jun had left more than a note. On his pillow was a small velvet box. Her heart stuttered. She opened it. Inside wasn't a ring. It was a necklace. Delicate gold chain with a small pendant. Korean characters she couldn't read. A note beneath it. It means protected. Wear it. Always. M. Despite everything. Despite still not trusting him completely. Sarah put it on. The metal was warm against her skin. Mrs. Choi found her in the kitchen. Smiled when she saw the necklace. Said something in Korean that Sarah was starting to understand. He loves you. Sarah didn't respond. Couldn't. Because love shouldn't feel like this. Like possession and protection wrapped in violence. But maybe in Min Jun's world. Maybe that was the only kind of love that existed. Her Korean tutor Ji-min arrived at 9. But today's lesson was different. Ji-min taught her phrases that made Sarah's blood run cold. How to say, I'm in danger. How to say, call the police. How to identify threats. Why are you teaching me this? Sarah asked. Because Mr. Kong asked me to. Ji-min's eyes were kind but sad. He wants you prepared. Just in case. Just in case of what? Just in case he can't protect you. Fear spiked through Sarah's chest. What's happening? Ji-min hesitated. Then pulled out her phone. Showed Sarah a news article. In Korean. But the photos were clear enough. Jiwoo's funeral. Hundreds of mourners. Her father standing at the front. His expression cold. Murderous. And beneath the article, a statement. Ji-min translated. The Choi family demands justice for their daughter's murder. They hold Kong Min Jun responsible. And they will have blood for blood. Sarah's hands shook. This is war, isn't it? Ji-min nodded. And you're the reason it started. The words hit like a slap. I didn't ask for this. I know. Ji-min's voice was gentle. But that doesn't change what's coming. What is coming? I don't know. But Mr. Kong is preparing for the worst. She squeezed Sarah's hand. Learn these phrases. Memorize them. And if something happens, run. Don't think. Don't hesitate. Just run. After Ji-min left, Sarah couldn't sit still. She paced the penthouse. Anxiety crawling up her spine. The walls felt like they were closing in. Her phone rang. Min Jun. Where are you? She asked. Handling things. His voice was tight. How are you? Scared. I know. I'm sorry. When will you be back? Tonight. Maybe later. Sarah. What? If something happens. If anyone tries to get to you. There's a panic button in your room. Red. Behind the nightstand. Press it and my men will come. Min Jun, you're scaring me. Good. His voice softened. Be scared. Stay alert. And don't leave the penthouse. What if they come here? They won't get past my men. But if they do, he stopped. Just press the button. And run. Run where? There's a safe room. Behind the bookshelf in my office. Mrs. Choi knows. She'll take you. This is insane. I know. But I need you to promise me. If anything happens, you save yourself. You save our baby. You don't wait for me. Tears burned her eyes. I promise. Good. He exhaled. I have to go. I love you. The line went dead before she could respond. Before she could process what he'd just said. I love you. He'd never said it before. Not even last night when they'd. Sarah sank onto the couch. Hand on her stomach. He loved her. A monster loved her. And somehow that made everything more complicated. The day dragged. Sarah tried to cook. Tried to read. Tried to do anything to keep her mind occupied. But fear was a living thing crawling under her skin. Mrs. Choi stayed close. Hovering. Protective. She'd moved sharp knives within reach. Kept her phone visible. Every sound made her tense. By 6 o'clock, Sarah couldn't take it anymore. I need air. She said. Just the balcony. Mrs. Choi frowned. Mr. Kong said. I know what he said. Sarah's voice rose. But I can't breathe in here. 5 minutes. Please. Mrs. Choi hesitated. Then nodded. But I come too. Fine. They stepped onto the balcony. Seoul's evening air was cool. The city sprawling below. Lights beginning to flicker on. Sarah gripped the railing. Closed her eyes. Tried to breathe. Behind her, Mrs. Choi's phone rang. She answered. Spoke rapid Korean. Then gasped. Sarah turned. Mrs. Choi's face had gone white. What? What's wrong? Mrs. Choi grabbed her arm. Inside. Now. What happened? Inside. They rushed back into the penthouse. Mrs. Choi locked the balcony door, drew the curtains, spoke into her phone, her voice shaking. Then she looked at Sarah. And Sarah saw fear. Real, genuine fear. They're coming. Mrs. Choi said in broken English. We hide. Now. Who's coming? But Sarah knew. Deep in her bones, she knew. Jiwoo's family had made their move. And the war had just arrived at Min Jun's door. Mrs. Choi pulled Sarah toward Min Jun's office, her hands shaking as she pushed books on the shelf. A section swung open, revealing a small room. Steel-reinforced walls. Monitors showing security footage. Supplies. A phone. Inside. Mrs. Choi pushed her through. Locked door. Don't open. Not for anyone except Mr. Kong. What about you? I stay. I slow them down. Her eyes were fierce. You protect baby. You survive. Mrs. Choi. She pushed Sarah fully inside. The door started to swing shut. Wait. Sarah grabbed her hand. Thank you. For everything. Mrs. Choi's eyes misted. You good girl. You survive. You be strong. The door sealed shut. Electronic locks engaging. Sarah stood in the dim space. Heart pounding. She could see the monitors. Multiple screens showing different parts of the penthouse. The elevator. The hallways. The living room. For a moment, everything was still. Then the elevator doors opened. 6 men stepped out. Armed. Dressed in black. Moving with military precision. Sarah's breath caught. This wasn't a random attack. This was planned. Professional. On another monitor, she saw Mrs. Choi, standing in the living room. Hands raised. Speaking Korean. Probably telling them Sarah wasn't here. One of the men struck her. Sarah screamed. But no sound escaped the safe room. She watched Mrs. Choi fall. Watched them tie her hands. Gag her. Tears streamed down Sarah's face. She grabbed the phone in the safe room. Dialed Min Jun. He answered on the first ring. Sarah, where are you? The safe room. They're here. 6 men. They hit Mrs. Choi. They're searching the penthouse. Stay quiet. Stay hidden. His voice was deadly calm, but she could hear the engine roaring in the background. I'm 10 minutes away. My men are 5. Just stay. The monitors showed the men entering Min Jun's bedroom. Then his office. Getting closer. They're in your office. Her voice shook. They won't find you. The door is reinforced. The locks are. One of the men pulled out a device. Attached it to the bookshelf. Sarah's stomach dropped. They have explosives. Silence on the other end. Min Jun, listen to me very carefully. His voice was steel. When that door opens, there's a gun in the drawer beside you. Loaded. Safety off. Do you know how to shoot? No. Point. Squeeze. Don't hesitate. Don't think. Just shoot. I can't. You can. For our baby. You can do anything. The device beeped. The bookshelf shuddered. They're coming. Sarah whispered. I'm almost there. Hold on. Please, Sarah. Hold on. The explosion rocked the safe room. Sarah screamed. The bookshelf blasted inward. Smoke filled the air. Through the haze, she saw them. 6 men. Guns raised. Sarah grabbed the weapon from the drawer. Her hands shaking so badly she nearly dropped it. The lead man stepped forward. Spoke in Korean. Sarah didn't understand the words, but understood the meaning. Come with us, or die. She raised the gun. Pointed it at him with both hands. Stay back. He smiled. Took another step. Sarah pulled the trigger. The recoil shocked her. The bullet went wide, hitting the wall. But it made them pause. She fired again. This time hitting the lead man's shoulder. He went down, cursing. The others rushed forward. Sarah kept firing. Wildly. Desperately. She hit another man. Maybe 2. But there were too many. Strong hands grabbed her. Ripped the gun away. Slammed her against the wall. Pain exploded through her shoulder. Her vision blurred. Someone was shouting. Korean. Angry. A hand gripped her throat. Squeezing. Sarah clawed at it. Gasping. Black spots dancing in her vision. Then gunfire erupted. Different. Louder. Coming from the penthouse entrance. The hand around her throat released. She collapsed. Gasping. Watching through tears as Min Jun's men stormed in. Black tactical gear. Moving like shadows. The fight was brutal. Close quarters. No mercy. Sarah curled into a ball. Protecting her stomach. Praying. Then silence. Strong hands on her shoulders. Gentle. Sarah. A familiar voice. Are you hurt? She looked up. One of Min Jun's men. The one who'd been at the cafe. I don't know. She touched her throat. It hurt to swallow. We need to move. He lifted her carefully. More might be coming. Where's Min Jun? Coming. But we can't wait. He carried her through the destroyed penthouse. Past bodies. Past blood. past Mrs. Choi, who was being untied by another guard. Their eyes met. Mrs. Choi was crying but alive. They reached the service elevator, descended to the garage. A different car waited. Armored. Sarah was placed inside. 2 guards with her. The car sped into the night. Where are we going? She asked. Safe house. The guard's voice was clipped. Until Mr. Kong secures the situation. Is he okay? Yes. He's handling the Choi family. Personally. The word personally sent chills down her spine. They drove for 30 minutes. Out of the city. Into the mountains. Finally stopping at a house. Modern. Isolated. Surrounded by trees and guards. Inside, a doctor waited. Older woman. Kind eyes. Let me examine you, she said in accented English. Sarah let herself be led to a bedroom. The doctor checked her vitals. Her throat. Her stomach. Did an ultrasound. The baby is fine. The doctor smiled. Strong heartbeat. You're both very lucky. Sarah burst into tears. Relief and fear and exhaustion crashing over her at once. The doctor held her, let her cry, then gave her something to help her sleep. When Sarah woke, it was dark. She was in a soft bed. Monitors beside her showing the baby's heartbeat. Still strong. Still fighting. A shadow moved in the corner. She gasped. Sat up. It's me. Min Jun stepped into the light. He looked like he'd walked through hell. Blood on his clothes. Cuts on his face. Exhaustion etched into every line. But alive. Sarah launched herself at him. He caught her. Held her so tight she couldn't breathe. I thought. She sobbed against his chest. I thought they'd kill you. Never. His voice was rough. I told you. I'd burn this city down first. He pulled back. Cupped her face. Searched her eyes. Are you hurt? The doctor said we're fine. The baby's fine. Relief crashed across his features. He pressed his forehead against hers. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have been there. Should have protected you better. You did protect me. She touched his face. You taught me to shoot. You gave me the safe room. You saved me. You saved yourself. He kissed her forehead. Her cheeks. Her lips. You're incredible. Brave. Strong. I was terrified. But you fought anyway. That's what makes you strong. She pulled back. Met his eyes. What happened? With the Choi family? His expression went cold. Hard. I made sure they understood. That you're untouchable. That anyone who comes for you comes for me. And that I don't show mercy twice. How? You don't want to know. Tell me. He searched her eyes. Then sighed. I went to their compound. Alone. Walked right through their security. And I made Jiwoo's father watch the security footage from the cafe. Watched his daughter pull that gun. Watched her point it at you. Watched her kill herself. And I told him that his daughter was sick. Obsessed. And that her death was her own doing. Not mine. His jaw clenched. Then I gave him a choice. Accept it, and we have peace. Or continue this war, and I burn his entire empire to ash. What did he choose? Peace. For now. His eyes were dark. But grudgingly. With conditions. What conditions? That you disappear. That I send you back to America. That I never see you again. Sarah's breath caught. And what did you say? I told him to go to hell. Min Jun's voice was steel. That you're mine. That the baby is mine. And that I don't negotiate when it comes to what belongs to me. So the war isn't over. No. But it's contained. For now. He stroked her face. And I've made arrangements. Extra security. Safe houses across the country. New protocols. This is my life now. Isn't it? She whispered. Running. Hiding. Always looking over my shoulder. He didn't answer. Which was answer enough. I can't do this. She pulled away. I can't raise a baby in this world. In your world of blood and violence and then leave. The words shocked her. What? Leave. Min Jun's voice was quiet. Raw. I won't stop you. I'll give you money. Protection. A new identity. You and the baby can disappear. Be safe. Have a normal life. You let me go? If it means you're happy. If it means you're safe. His eyes were devastated. Yes. I'd let you go? Sarah stared at him. At this man who'd kidnapped her. Controlled her. Claimed her. But who'd also protected her. Fought for her. Loved her. And she realized something terrifying. She didn't want to go. What if I don't want to leave? She whispered. His breath caught. Sarah, what if I want to stay? With you. In this insane, violent, impossible world. You don't mean that. Yes. She stepped closer. I do. I hate your world. I hate the danger. I hate being afraid. But I don't hate you. Not anymore. You should. I know. She touched his face. But I don't. I think somewhere between the kidnapping and the war and almost dying, I fell for you. And I hate that too. He laughed. Broken and beautiful. You fell for a monster. Maybe. She smiled. Sad but real. But you're my monster. And maybe that's enough. It's not. He pulled her close. You deserve better. You deserve safety. Peace. A man who doesn't have blood on his hands. But I don't want that man. Her voice was fierce. I want you. Flaws and darkness and all. Because you're real. You don't pretend. You don't lie about what you are. And you'd die for me. For this baby. I would. Without hesitation. Then that's enough. She kissed him. Soft. Sure. That's more than enough. He kissed her back. Desperate. Grateful. Like she was salvation he didn't deserve. When they pulled apart, both had tears streaming down their faces. Marry me. He whispered. Not because of the baby. Not because I'm forcing you. But because I love you. And I want to spend every day trying to deserve you. She should say no. Should be smart. Should protect herself. Instead she said yes. 3 months later, Sarah stood in a small traditional Korean wedding hall, wearing a beautiful hanbok, white and gold, her stomach round with their daughter. Her mother and sister had flown in from Atlanta, crying happy tears. Min Jun had arranged everything. First-class tickets, 5-star hotel, security that her family didn't even notice. Mrs. Choi fussed over Sarah's hair, whispering encouragements in Korean that Sarah now understood. You beautiful. Baby beautiful. Mr. Kong very lucky. I'm lucky too, Sarah admitted. Surprisingly, she meant it. The ceremony was small, intimate. Min Jun's trusted men. Sarah's family. Mrs. Choi. No one from the Choi family, but their absence spoke volumes. The truce held. Tenuously. But it held. When Sarah walked down the aisle, Min Jun's eyes filled with tears. He looked devastating in his traditional Korean groom's attire. Strong. Powerful. But the way he looked at her was soft. Reverent. Like she was his whole world. The ceremony was beautiful. Sarah didn't understand all the Korean words, but she understood the important ones. Love. Forever. Family. When Min Jun slid the ring on her finger, his hands shook. I don't deserve you, he whispered, but I'll spend my life trying. You already do, she whispered back. They kissed, and the small gathering erupted in applause. At the reception, Sarah's mother pulled her aside. Are you happy, baby girl? Sarah looked across the room. Min Jun was talking with her sister, making her laugh, being charming and careful and nothing like the monster the world thought he was. Yes, Mama. I'm happy. And you're safe? As safe as I can be. Her mother studied her face, then nodded. Then that's enough. Love is complicated, baby, and sometimes it comes in forms we don't expect. But if he loves you, if he protects you, if he's good to you and that baby, then that's what matters. He is. Sarah smiled. All of those things. Then you have my blessing. Her mother hugged her. Even if he is a little scary. Sarah laughed. Only a little. The party continued late into the night. Sarah danced with Min Jun slowly, carefully, his hand protective over her stomach. Thank you, he murmured against her hair. For what? For giving me a chance. For staying. For loving me despite everything. Thank you for fighting for me. She looked up at him. For protecting me. For being exactly who you are. Even the dark parts? Especially those. She smiled. Because they're part of you. And I love all of you. He kissed her, deep and sweet and full of promise. That night, in their hotel suite, Min Jun was impossibly gentle, worshipping every inch of her, whispering promises in Korean and English, making her feel cherished, loved, safe. And for the first time since this whole nightmare began, Sarah felt at peace. She'd chosen this life, this man, this future, and she didn't regret it. For months later, Sarah gave birth to a daughter. Tiny, perfect, with Min Jun's dark eyes and Sarah's warm skin. They named her Hope, because that's what she represented. Hope for a better future. Hope that love could exist even in darkness. Hope that they could build something good from something that started so broken. Min Jun held his daughter with shaking hands, tears streaming down his face. She's perfect, he whispered, just like her mother. Sarah watched him, this dangerous man, this monster, cradling their baby like she was made of glass. And she knew she'd made the right choice. The months that followed weren't easy. There were still threats, still danger, still moments when Sarah woke up terrified. But there were also mornings waking up in Min Jun's arms, watching him sing Korean lullabies to Hope, teaching her to make kimchi with Mrs. Choi, video calls with her mother showing off the baby. There was love, real, complicated, messy love, and it was enough. On Hope's first birthday, Sarah stood on the penthouse balcony, Min Jun's arms around her waist, their daughter sleeping peacefully inside. Do you regret it? Min Jun asked quietly. Staying? Sarah thought about it. Really thought. About the fear, the danger, the impossible choices, but also about the love, the family, the life they'd built. No, she turned in his arms. I don't regret it. Do you? Never. He kissed her forehead. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Even though I complicate your life? Especially because of that. He smiled. You make me want to be better. To build something more than just an empire of fear. Are you? Trying. He looked back at the city. I've been legitimizing businesses. Cutting ties with the worst elements. It'll take time. Maybe years. But I want Hope to inherit something she can be proud of. Sarah's eyes misted. You're a good father. I'm learning. From you. They stood there, watching Seoul glitter below them. A city that had once felt like a prison now felt like home. Because home wasn't a place. It was the people you chose. The family you built. The love you fought for. And Sarah had all of that. She'd survived heartbreak. Survived kidnapping. Survived a war. And on the other side, she'd found something she never expected. Love. Real, complicated, fierce love. With a man the world called a monster. But who'd shown her that monsters could learn to be human. And humans could learn to be brave. I love you, she whispered. Against all logic. Against all reason. I love you. I love you too. Min Jun held her tighter. Forever. Forever. She agreed. And as Hope's soft cries drifted from inside, calling them back, Sarah smiled. Because this was her life now. Imperfect. Dangerous. But hers. And she wouldn't change a single thing. If Sarah and Min Jun's journey from enemies to soulmates had you holding your breath, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me your favorite moment. Was it when she fought back in the safe room, when he offered to let her go, or that final I love you? And subscribe because their story might be over, but I have so many more dangerous romances waiting for you.